Woman has 15 children and got evicted. Now she wants the government/welfare office to help her more than they already are.
I don't have any clothes. People been donating food just around here, just helping me out with food, and I don't have anything.
We called the Department of Children and Families to see what they've been doing to help. DCF says Hillsborough Kids Incorporated has been helping by paying Adams rent, even providing her furniture. Adams says it isn't enough.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children and mine and Gary, all our suffering, all our pain. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
DCF Regional Director Nick Cox wanted to see for himself the situation that Adams now finds herself in.
Someone needs to be accountable for all these kids I decided to have.
37-year-old Angel Adams blames the system for her problems, a system of social service agencies trying to help her. Adams has 15 children, 12 who are now living with her in this small motel room. While we were in the room,
What the fuck?
children had no food available, no shoes, and Adams says they haven't had a change of clothes in more than 3 days. A concerned employee of the motel called us after seeing her plight. Landlords recently evicted Adams and her children from this Tampa apartment after discovering she was living there with her 12 children. The kids' clothes, books, toys, and furniture are now out on the curb, picked over by scavengers. The building's owners say they gave ample warning to Adams, warnings they say she chose to ignore.
We tried to help them, and I think several other agencies, with paying of her rent and the paying of her utilities and stuff, did more than their part.
But Adams says her life didn't start to fall apart until social service agencies got involved. Her fiancé, Gary Brown Sr., the man who fathered 10 of her 15 children, was arrested, and Adams says she was left with nothing.
I don't have any clothes. People been donating food just around here, just helping me out with food, and I don't have anything.
We called the Department of Children and Families to see what they've been doing to help. DCF says Hillsborough Kids Incorporated has been helping by paying Adams rent, even providing her furniture. Adams says it isn't enough.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children and mine and Gary, all our suffering, all our pain. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
That's crazy.
That seems like an SNL skit or something.
Somebody needs to be held accountable for all of this, okay?
All of my kids.
You see these 15 kids?
What the fuck? Someone needs to pay for my 15 kids.
And that's a minimum 15 years of her life, from 22 to 37, to just be pregnant after pregnant.
Or, at least after the third or fourth, kind of have some sort of
Or was
life plan on, are you ready to have a fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth?
Or was she getting taken care of for so many kids, so it wasn't a problem, and then the government cut her off, or obviously got evicted, and now it's like, oh shit. But also, if she never had a job in the first place, I don't know her situation, why are you having kids? Sometimes it's hard to be how does that not make any sense? I get having one, maybe even two, these weren't supposed to be there, but now we're making it happen. 15, that's intentional. That's
intentional.
You gotta try to have 15.
It's come on now.
Because that's not even a normal number any family ever has.
And it seems like something that you would, if that was your goal to have 15 kids, I would want to go into it being we have a lot of money and a lot of resources to pay for these 15 kids. One is expensive.
The father's all happy, just bust it real quick, all these kids. Peace. You probably don't want to come out.
He's probably catching more charges in there, I ain't paying for shit when I get out.
I guess worst case worse, if something happens to her, can you give your kids up to just foster care? At that point, would you rather just give your kids away? If you can't support any of them.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't got taken away from her.
Even not even letting the kids shower for 3 days or change, that's messed up. That's not fair.
Child abuse.
And there's probably also 3 days of no food. That's not fair.
There's even more. Here we go.
She's got to do something. She's just saying, I don't know. I don't have anything.
All the suffering. And someone needs to pay. You ever thought maybe you should?
I haven't seen her grind a little bit.
I know there's some help that's been coming your way, but what I'm concerned about right now is I want to make sure, number one, that for right now, all of you and your kids don't belong in that one room.
You're a child abuser. 15 little kids all in a room that's unsafe, that's unsanitary. They're all dirty. They're getting sick in there and shit. They don't
no
have
health care,
hungry,
no
dirty.
shoes.
Yeah, that's what do you do?
How did you let it even get that far? That's the craziest part.
Yeah, was the husband or the
was he
father
taking care of it up until that moment?
Providing all the way up until you got locked up? And then it's okay, it sucks for her that she got left with the kids. I don't know if that's the case.
Because some of them look like they was 10. 10.
But at a certain point, if you're deciding I'm gonna have 15 kids, technically your spouse leaving is something that's on the table. So you do have to take that into account. Like if I'm gonna have this 2 kids or something, what happens if we break up? What happens if something happens to that person? You gotta factor that in.
Did they say those are all from the same guy?
10 from one guy and
shit.
5 mysteries.
Oh.
So she did. It's her fault though. She didn't learn her lesson. 5 mysteries is crazy.
If you guys would like to see more reactions and more vlogs that we can't put on YouTube, then become a member at mystrawberrypark.com.
We're gonna be posting weekly content on there, sometimes even every day. We got exclusive merch on there too.
Also, all the videos you're seeing on our channel right now have already been uploaded early for everybody that's a member on our website. Join the family.
And don't take our word for it. Look at the comments that people are leaving once they become a member. Everyone's loving it. They're getting so many crazy videos that we can't put on YouTube for all types of reasons. So make sure you guys click the first link at the top of the description or
Go to mystrawberrypark.com. Don't miss out.
Tonight, Angel Adams and her 12 children are in a much better place after Nick Cox, who is the regional director of the Department of Children and Families, got involved. He found a temporary home at a kid's place in Brandon for the family. DCF says they will sit down with Adams and a team of case management workers to determine the best way to move forward to help her and the children. Gail.
All right, Jeff. Hillsborough Kids Incorporated is a support agency that works for the Department of Children and Families. Today, Angel Yulie Adams was back in Hillsborough Court and again surprised everyone.
Mother's in jail.
Gail, Angel Yulie Adams was sent to jail last week for contempt of court when she refused to tell the judge whether she was pregnant. Today, Angel finally answered the question.
I'm just a single mom with 12 minor children.
When we first met Angel Adams, she was living in a small motel room with 12 of her 15 children, ranging in age from 11 years to 6 months. And she was angry at the system.
Somebody needs to pay.
That's crazy.
DCF Regional Director Nick Cox stepped in and moved Angel and her children to a kid's place in Brandon as a temporary home. But Angel remained defiant. In court last week, Hillsborough County Judge Tracy Sheehan asked Angel a pointed question at a status hearing.
Are you pregnant?
Sheehan demanded to know because she was concerned Adams had been with a man in front of the children at the motel room, a small 2-bedroom apartment she had lived in before being arrested.
Okay, yeah, that's fucked up.
When Adams refused to answer, Sheehan sent her to jail for contempt of court. Today, at yet another hearing, Sheehan released Adams from jail.
I called in everyone to say I have no interest in leaving her in jail because I think to do so just burdens the taxpayers of Hillsborough County even further.
Then DCF Regional Director Nick Cox updated the court on the children.
They appear to be doing very well.
And finally, Angel Adams spoke, surprising everyone.
To your question of me being pregnant, no, I am not pregnant. And no, my children have not been around any men outside of their father.
Cap.
Adams went even further, apologizing to the court and to DCF.
And I do want to apologize to you and say I'm sorry to everybody in the room. You know, I understand that these people have went out of their way to get a house for me and my children.
Today, the judge revealed when her children were taken away before, Adams went for 10 months without seeing them. DCF Director Nick Cox says he hopes to work with Angel this time to return the children to her, but he says that depends on her actions. In the Tampa newsroom.
I would think 3 kids is a lot.
I think I'm stopping at 2.
You ain't going to 15?
I know. Maybe it gets fun when you're at 10. You're like, fuck it.
Like, it just becomes irresponsible at some point, right? Like, how are you at 12 kids and like, I can do another? It would all have to be accidents at that point, unless she planned for failure.
Again, it feels like child abuse to me when, dude, these are all sentient beings that you're creating.
That need like endless love, care, like a lot of work. For one, you are not giving all 15 the same attention.
No, there was no food in there when they went into the motel.
Yeah, and I got the 10-year-olds having to become a mom at 10. Like, oh, mom's upset. Mom needs help. I have to take care of. Like, you can't go be a kid now.
You're a menace to society because you just brought in 15 lives.
And now all of them aren't even gonna have their own parents, dad or mom, around because they're both in jail.
Correct.
And now you're just in another home, which is definitely better. But how does it make them feel knowing that, like, damn?
And then you're not a competent mother.
It's not fair. It's not fair to the show.
Because even if she was in their life, it doesn't even matter because she's not even doing it.
They're actually better without her, but that's even sad that she brought him in just to deal with this in the first place.
Yeah, they didn't have a say in their situation, and she brought them into a shitty situation. 15 people.
They should have gave her like a reality show. Don't you get a show at a certain point? Like, and you have like a crazy
Okay,
big
I will
family.
give her housing, but she gotta be on
A movie, the Cheaper by the Dozen or whatever, Brady Bunch. They can think of something. Motel Takeover, something.
Motel Madness.
Motel Madness has a ring to it.
Motel Madness.
Wait, that's good.
You might be on the
We should produce that.
We'll go to the jail. We'll call her up. We'll bail her out.
That's
Bail
what
her out.
YouTubers are doing.
Yeah, what you
So
that's a new thing. Go to jail and bail people out.
So we're moving you and your kids back to the motel. Hear me out.
I could probably house like 5. Y'all can take 10.
Wait, what?
Motel Madness. I'd watch that, bro. I'd watch that. I'd tune in. Because it's like, yeah, it showcases like, you know, the negative side of their life, whatever. But at least they're getting paid and some recognition. They could, you know, branch out and do something else with their social media. Might be too much. I don't know.
Do you think some people should be kept from being able to reproduce?
Yeah, but it's like, how do you...
You couldn't regulate that.
You can't regulate that.
But in a perfect world, isn't it unfair to the children being born?
That's terrible.
Like you be seeing certain people with no IQ, and it's like, dude,
You're pregnant? What? Good luck. She wasn't even thinking about any of that. Just like, if I could or not, it's just like, oh, I'm horny right now.
And who has to pay? You.
Y'all need to pay for her kids.
It's your responsibility. Someone's got to be held accountable.
Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
And someone does have to pay. And it's technically, yeah, it's taxpayers in Florida. So if you're in Florida, these are technically your kids. If you're from Tampa, drop it in the comments.
You guys are parents.
You got 15 new kids you didn't even know about.
Tampa Bay. Peace.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up,